What's happening, YouTube? It's your homie S. Dot coming back to use another video, and today's video is going to round out the Game 3 finish between David Burgos and his Orange-Black Pierce Madness versus my Galaxy Prime. Of course, with my updates being the Night Racer over Dead End, and him having Barrage over, Fangry over Barrage, Fangry and Parsec Head actually over Barrage. So I'm going to start the turn off by flipping Flame War and attacking into attacking into Vanguard. So I get 2 damage on Vanguard. Hopefully I don't have to deal any more damage to it. I'm going to trade it the bigger they are for a Pocket Processor, and the only reason why I flip Flame War, yes, I know that her Tough doesn't do much against Pierce, but with me playing Mission Briefing, the white-green new action from a Wave 5 Titan Master's attack, you were able to draw cards among the number of bots you have in the field. So at one point I could have, at least Optimus and Flame War in bot mode and draw 2 cards. And it's nice that it's a green and you can just pick it up. So it's a pep talk, or maybe slightly better if Night Racer's ever in alt mode, but or in bot mode rather. So Dave's going to draw for his turn, and he's not going to activate an action or an upgrade. Keep in mind, on your first turn while you're going second, you can activate either one action or one upgrade, but he decided to do neither. So clearly, I guess those cards will be safe for later for more power plays, or for a power play or so, which is better plays in general. So he's going to attack with Flame War, though, into my Night Racer and get pretty much the bigger they are. I always say the bigger they are because he got 4 guaranteed damage, and we know bigger they are, that's what it does, gets 4 guaranteed damage. So going to get that on Night Racer, and he had a green to select from. I missed what it was. I want to say it was a Counter Espionage or Hollow Matter Projector, and I have a couple of greens to pick from, but the most important one out of all of those greens there are out of, was that Mission Briefing or is that Paralizo Box? It might be Paralizo Box, can't tell, a little blurry. But Enforcement Batons is going to be the most important card to get out of that, so I can be able to try to get rid of that Lionizer weapon and not let him get too much value in attacks out of that weapon with any one of his other characters. So it looks like my turn is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to flip Optimus, play Pocket Processor on him, and get the swinging with Flame War, most likely, unless I have an action to play. Not doing a whole bunch to Lionizer this turn. Okay, yep, just attacking with the Flame War. Now, I opted to put the Pocket Processor on Optimus, seeing that Dave did not really value reprocess in this matchup. So if he was playing the reprocess between like game 1 and 2, that's something I would have definitely took into account this game, and I would actually put the Pocket Processor on Night Racer, and it does 2 things. It potentially forces him to entices him to want to keep attacking the Flame War and get rid of her, or if he does reprocess it, I'll actually heal 2 damage on the Night Racer. And Night Racer is such a tank, so either one of those things would be ideal, because if he's focusing on Night Racer trying to KO her, he's not KOing my Prime, and definitely better off in my situation. So, but I'm just gonna put the Pocket Processor on the Optimus and try to get some value out of it. Dave dropping down that Supercharge on the Vanguard, so Vanguard's going to get a pretty sizable attack, probably on Night Racer. It makes sense, get her closer and closer to being KO, so that way he doesn't have to send that many more attacks. Spreading the damage is, I won't say not ideal, but in a situation where you're playing a deck like Dave's and everything is pierced, he can get an actual pretty giant attack on my Night Racer and potentially put her in range for like Rock Toss or anything, especially if he can get 6 black icons. Kind of unlikely because he's only flipping 5 cards, but if he does flip a white and it extends into all his blacks, he's playing a lot of them, so we'll see what ends up happening. So of course I flip a defense. My defense is not going to mean that much, but it means something. So if I had like 3 defense and he had like 8 Pierce 3, well, I would take 5 instead of taking Pierce 3. So my defense matters in that regard. But other than that, I'm still going to be taking a big chunk of damage. Sure enough, putting the Night Racer at 8, so only 3 more and she's gone. So after drawing for my turn in Pocket Processor, I'm going to play a Matrix of Leadership. And I probably need to go ahead and KO that Lionizer this turn. Again, we're in that situation where I don't want him to have a ridiculous Piece of Tyranny turn and get like 2 giant attacks on Optimus, and then send in Demolisher or something again and potentially take, well, I say potentially, I don't know if he could take out 21 health and even in 3 attacks, but he could, at the same time, with all the flips that he's getting, especially with the Lionizer weapon. So I'm going to set a secret action and attack with the Optimus, and I'm going to attack into the Lionizer. And he hits a white, so that's not good for me. Him hitting a white, we pause here for a second because I'm expecting to KO it, and I'm like, wait, why are you only taking 5 and not 7? But that's because he procced the Vanguard's effect, and what that does, again, if you hit a white icon, you can only take 5 damage, so it's pretty much a force field. So That's unfortunate for me, and that leaves the Lionizer at 6. So if he really has Peace of Tyranny now, I'm in trouble. So I do have a secret action, so hopefully that secret action is stable cover or in hostilities. I probably would rather in hostilities because I can just blunt demolish his entire attack. So we'll see what ends up happening. I have tough 2 on all of my characters due to Night Racer's effect having a secret action face up or face down, but it's not going to do much here. What is that? Nitro Booster. Okay, Nitro Booster, Heated Battle. So one of the strongest players in his deck, he is about to unveil on me now. And he's actually not going to attack with the Demolisher in his alt mode. We have a little pause here because I asked him why he's not attacking in bot mode. And it's not that I'm trying to entice him to run into my in hostilities, but at the same time, I'm like, why wouldn't you? Because the thing is, his first attack would get blunted by in hostilities, but it's only for 1 battle. So he can untap and get a second attack, and then his second attack will go through like normal. So that's why I was wondering why he didn't flip. But the fact that Demolisher still meets the requirements of Nitro Booster to untap. The Demolisher has 3 attack in this mode, so he can still scale up his Pierce to at least get Pierce 3 twice, if anything, instead of like getting nothing the first time around. So I respect it. Very good move on his part, on Dave's part. So he's going to attack, and I don't know who he's attacking to, but I'm not flipping my secret action just yet. So he's going to get some damage. Looks like he flipped no black battle icons either on this attack. So I might actually just be able to block this entire attack. Oh, I'm touching Night Racer, so I'll take that back. Looks like he went to attack Night Racer. So Night Racer blocked for 6, and he attacked me for maybe like 7 or no, 10. No, he 6, 2. So he hit me for 8, but I ended up blocking, so I still lived. So he was expecting that attack to kill me. So he's gonna untap and attack again. Unfortunately, having to put 2 attacks into that Night Racer if he wants to kill it. Looks like his plan was to just kill Night Racer in 1 hit. He was expecting to hit a whole bunch of black icons, but he didn't, unfortunately. And so yep, he's gonna attack and untap, and then the Nitro Booster should scrap itself, but I'm pretty sure we'll get that fixed. Okay, so we had a little bit of confusion, and that was on my part. I forgot to flip from my Heated Battle, so we skip ahead a little bit so you don't see us talking and trying to make sure we figure out everything and get the amount of flips correct. But he's going to kill the Night Racer, so he did have to put 2 attacks into that Night Racer, unfortunately. And then he's going to attack with Fangry into my Optimus. I imagine that to get that free Bolt 2 on Fangry, it doesn't make sense to attack into Flame War this round. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to attack into Optimus most likely, and I actually still have 2 more flips. I think I catch that here in a second. Forgot about the Heated Battle last attack, and then I forget again. I think I just got so into the game on like his side, I think I just missed what I was supposed to do. So there we go. Got my extra 3 flips for the Heated Battle. That gives me a Bolt or a Tough 4. So and a white icon will give me what's that? 2, 4, 8 flips. So yeah, we got that right now. So the most he can do is a bigger they are, because in hostilities turns all of our oranges into blues. So if he scales up his blacks and he hits black icons up to 4, then he'll be able to do 4 Pierce 4. So it's another bigger they are. So at least it's something versus not doing anything at all. I do have 2 green icons. I have a mission briefing and what is that? Espionage or paralyze the box, one of the 2. I decided not to get any of those. I do have that pocket processor though, so in a couple turns here, it's really going to continuously generate me some decent amount of advantage. And you know, also Optimus's flip. If I can hit decent on Optimus's flip, that'd be really good here. So I'm going to draw for pocket processor. Got a couple cards in hand, so I'm pretty sure I got some decent options. Probably first things first though is to flip Optimus and see what I can get off the top of the deck without dropping cards. Gonna flip Optimus and hit a bigger VR. So bigger VR is actually really, really good here, but at the same time, it's not that good because so it's good, but it's not good, but it's good, but it's not good, if that makes sense. I really need to kill the Lionizer here. So even though I got this bigger they are, I could have 5 Pierce 5 versus that Demolisher because he has 6 stars and my Flame War has 5 stars. And then of course against Fangry has 7 stars. So I can get 5 Pierce 5 on one of those characters, but the problem is if I can't burn the Lionizer out of the game, like with direct, you know, out of combat damage, it's going to suck for Optimus to have to demolish the Lionizer. So the Flame War unfortunately needs to kill the Lionizer here. If I had Tripwire or I had Arm Hovercraft, it would be nice, but he also, his Lionizer would need to be within 1, and that Lionizer actually has 6 damage on him, not 7. So it's really unfortunate to hit a bigger they are like that, but not like have anybody within range of being KO'd besides. I mean, I could KO Vanguard here, but I really don't want Lionizer getting another attack like that. And plus, I do have Enforcement Baton, so I just really need to get rid of the Lionizer no matter what, so then I can use the Enforcement Batons to make sure he doesn't get any value out of his Demolisher or Fangry attack, whoever he decides to put it on. Play the Arm Hovercraft. Unfortunately, again, Arm Hovercraft's not going to put the Lionizer within range of being KO'd. None of his characters really, so Even in the big, that's another thing. The bigger they are, the hovercraft put the demolisher at 6, and my Flame War has Pierce 5. So if the Demolisher would have had 1 more damage on it, that would have been so nice to be able to attack and get rid of it. And yes, that means I still have to attack the line into the Lionizer with the Galaxy, but it would have been just a lot better value because I got rid of one of his best attackers. So I'm analyzing here, and I finally end up deciding to attack into the character I know I have to. And if you look at my flips, I flipped the stable cover. So damn, if I would have attacked into the Demolisher, I would have got there. I knew I had the reason why I was looking through my scrap pile, and it took a minute to decide who I wanted to attack, because I was deciding if I wanted to take the gamble and see if I could hit the other black icon. Now, if I only had like 5 cards left in deck, I might have took that chance. But I had a couple of cards, more like, it looks like maybe 10 or so cards left in my deck. There was no way I could take that chance. But if I would have got there, because I would have had 6 Pierce 6 on that Demolisher. But there's no way I could just take that chance like that, knowing I play so few black icons. So I'm going to kill the Demolisher, or the Lionizer, and actually Dave makes a really, really good move by putting the Lionizer weapon on the Vanguard, and the Vanguard will get value out of that Lionizer weapon now. He remembers that I got the Enforcement Batons way earlier in like the second turn of the game, so he'll be able to get value out of the Lionizer weapon. Because he's not playing Quartermaster, he has no way to bring the Saber back. So if he attacks with the Vanguard here and gets a good chunk of damage on Flame War, he got use out of the Lionizer weapon. If he puts the Lionizer weapon on Demolisher or Fangry, they're not attacking next turn. So then on next turn, he knows I could just easily use the Enforcement Batons to get rid of the Saber, and it had no value at all. So he's getting the maximum use out of his Battle Master by putting on Vanguard, even though he's going to sacrifice the Vanguard. Definitely a very, very good play by Dave. I don't know why I double up on everything I say. Very, very, or really, really. I gotta stop doing that. I don't even do that on purpose. Gotta play Wedge Formation, heal that 1 that I did from the Arm Hovercraft off that Fangry, and draw a card because he does have 2 ranged characters on the field. He only needs 1, so Vanguard, and keep in mind, Demolisher is actually ranged in its alt mode. So he's going to attack with Vanguard into my Saber, or Vanguard with the Saber into my Flame War, actually. And I don't know why Hollow Matter is... why he moved the Hollow Matter. I don't know what happened right there, but... So we're flipping a minimum of, I think he planned, yep, he planned one. He planned Hit and Run on the top of his deck. Hit and Run is a new white and black action that is pretty much a rollout. So you roll out one of your characters from alt to bot mode and then move 1 damage from it to the enemy. So that's pretty cool. So it's better than Swerve in his decks. I remember him playing Swerve, so that's a little better that he can just flip the Demolisher. What's nice about it, you can flip Demolisher back to alt mode, fling 1 from him to an enemy, and then play Composite Armor on him, and then flip Demolisher right back, which is really nice. So because otherwise you'd have to just flip Demolisher. You have to wait, play the Composite Armor, and then wait to flip it back to attack with it in that mode. So I have no greens to get here, so I don't know why my cards are still on the field, but I'm pretty sure we're going to progress here in a second. And as you can see, by the way, that Lionizer with the Vanguard hit me for a good chunk. He hit me for 7 Pierce. Whatever his attack was, he ended up getting 7 damage. My Flame War had no damage on her. So that was a pretty, that's what we call value. That was definitely some solid value out of that Lionizer weapon. But now I'm in a situation where I can save my Enforcement Batons because I know I'm going to kill the Vanguard with the Lionizer weapon anyway. But at the same time, he's not playing any other weapons that stick. He's not playing RR Disruptor Blade, or he's not playing Erratic Lightning or whatever else. So my batons will kind of just give one of my characters +1 attack at a point, and that's really about it at this point. So I'm going to play Energy Pack. So found the Energy Pack, so that's good. So no action though. So I'm going to attack, and what would be nice here, I guess, to hit another Energy Pack. It's the best case scenario. Hitting a Bashing Shield. Bashing Shield would be really good right here as well, because what would happen is if I kill the Vanguard will attach to one of his other characters, and then after the battle, like Prime says, the Bashing Shield would then kill the Vanguard weapon. I think he would still deal 1 damage to one of my characters, but then the Bashing Shield would get rid of the Vanguard, so then, it just wouldn't be there anymore, which is really nice. Same thing goes for Enforcement Batons if you flip that off of your Optimus flips. I've never got a chance to do that yet, but that is a potential play. So Dave again gets 2 big attacks on my characters. His best 2 characters on top of that. So yep, the Vanguard dies, and okay. So him putting the ballistic weapon on Fangry, what that does again when the Vanguard dies, he'll be able to do 1 damage to one of my characters. So I'm imagining he'll probably do that to Prime and put him at 5 damage, and then also. The reason why it doesn't matter. It's not like he's not going to see the card anyway. So he put the ballistic helmet on Fangry, and that immediately tells me that he has Composite Armor or Hollow Matter Projector. Now, Hollow Matter Projector would be the best case, or the worst case scenario out of the two, and composite armor would be the best. He was about to flip, but he didn't yet, because I'm assuming he remembered that composite armor needs to be on a tank. So I guess we'll see here in a second. Oh, yep, there we go. Composite armor. So composite armor, you got to put it on a tank first. If you are playing a character that is a tank, but it's in bot mode, keep in mind the only character we have that's the trait in both modes is a Windsweeper. And Windsweeper is playing in both modes. So that'd be sick if we get a tank that's actually a tank in bot mode as well, because that makes composite armor even better. So we're gonna get a giant demolisher attack. He's as in fight for position as well on the Fangry, so a lot of bold coming in. This makes me want to play W5 Gyro Blaster, but it's not. Well, I won't say it's not as good in this deck, but that would shut down a lot of his plays. That would actually kind of shut down his entire deck until he finds reprocess. So if a deck like Dave's especially was to become really, really strong, I would definitely consider W5 Gyro Blaster, or maybe not even Temporal Quagmire, probably maybe even Dampening Field, because it's white, so it can help extend into your flips. Stable Cover is still solid though. Stable Cover and Hostilities really do a lot of work despite all the Pierce, because you still take some damage, but you won't take so much damage. So, and let's see what that big chunk of damage ended up becoming. So from 5 up to 10, so he did Pierce 5 on that, so that wasn't bad, but I mean, that's still a decent sizable attack for him. So, and then Fangry's gonna get in with Bold 1, Bold 2, Bold 2 more, so Bold 5. So Bold 5 flipping 7 cards initially, 2 more cards with a white will give him 9 cards flip total, and get another giant attack on my Optimus. Doesn't make sense to attack. Well, it doesn't. He could potentially, I guess, attack my Flame War and then force me to. And actually, he probably should have attacked Flame War despite not getting a giant attack on Optimus. The Optimus wasn't in range of dying at least. So getting the Flame War off the board forces my Optimus to have to kill one of his characters next turn. So maybe he should have attacked Flame War, but he decided to attack Optimus, and he's probably going to get a big amount of damage anyway. Again. Yeah, it puts me at 16, so I only have 9. I wouldn't say only 9, because 9 is a lot, but at this point in the game especially. But so I have 9 damage on me, but I still have another character to block with. So this is one of those things I talk about when, I've talked to people in this about, like, well, attacking Prime when he's open. It's like, well, if you leave my smaller characters, like, they're there to potentially block and, give me a chance to do something. Or set up my Prime even further, so. And this is a good example of that, because if it was me, I think I would have attacked Flame War, like I said, and forced Prime to have to kill one of those characters, because if Prime doesn't, then I might be tight. Because in this situation, I could probably just lead with Flame War and give Optimus another turn to set up. I still have the Pocket Processor, so I can still draw more cards and try to set it up that way with an Axe or a Noble's Blaster. Unfortunately, though, every time Noble's Blaster or, what other cards come up that I just kept getting rid of? I kept getting rid of Arn Hovercrafts, and like every time Noble's Blaster come up, I wasn't able to get it because I valued the cards in my hand that much more, unfortunately, in that situation. So, I mean, I still do have that Enforcement Batons, though. I don't think Enforcement Batons is as good anymore this turn, or this game, so we'll see what I end up pulling off here, though. So I decided to play Bashing Shield. Bashing Shield on my Fangry now, or excuse me, on my Optimus. I'm looking at Fangry when I say Fangry. Now, I'm in an interesting position, but I actually get rid of the composite armor. So me getting rid of the composite armor was interesting because that probably telegraphs to Dave, at least it would to me, that Optimus is about to try to attack and kill the Demolisher. Because what I could have done was just Bashing Shield the ballistic armor and then Flame War attack with 4 Pierce 1 because of the Matrix of Leadership and just get rid of the composite armor. Because no matter who the character with the composite armor battles against, it will fall off at the end of the battle. Now, composite armor will deal 1 damage back if the character, if he flips a black on that defense. But so I'm debating on flipping Flame War, and I might not. I'm looking into my scrap pile for something, so I'm assuming that I might be actually going in with Optimus, because you know what though, if I can get rid of Demolisher, this is something that he definitely wasn't expecting, and I probably wasn't expecting for a while, because it took me a while. I had to make an edit for how long it took me to debate on using that Bashing Shield, because it was a risky move, because now I'm still potentially having my Fangry be, KO'd. So, but I'm going to play the Belligerents, and at this point, Flame War is definitely not going to go in because her attack won't be that large. So I have 10, and I actually end up hitting pretty well. So the Matrix of Leadership actually turns into a double orange here, and so does the Armed Hovercraft turns into an orange as well. So that put me at 13, and that'll just straight get rid of the Demolisher. So very big risk by myself, because now I'm at 16 health, and I have 9 health left. So he has Power Punch. If he has Power Punch, Supercharge, or Power Punch, Heat of Battle, I might be in for a world of hurt if he gets, that Pierce 9. And I actually might just end up losing. So these are one of those gambles that I talk about having to take. Same with kind of Paralyzo Box. Paralyzo Box, I guess you can, I don't know if I want to put them on the same level in terms of, I I guess there's different levels of gambles you take. There's levels of gambles you take when your opponent has 5 cards in their hand and you're like, man, this is a good time to checkpoint, and then it turns out they have like 1 upgrade or like all actions or whatever, and you don't get any value out of the checkpoint. Yes, it's like, okay, that means they don't have any upgrades, so they're not playing any next turn, but it's still one of those gambles, because it's like I took a gamble by playing Belligerence there and knocking out his character and hoping that my Fangry doesn't die, and hopefully I'm assuming maybe I have another energy pack in my hand, so if I don't die here, I'm in a really good position. We'll see, because I definitely did future plan for this, but I don't remember exactly what happened. So all in all, still was a gamble. Oh, and the other level of a gamble is like Paralyzo Box. So Paralyzo Box is like on another level of gambling in terms of your opponent's deck and hoping that you hit the correct color. So anyway, he's going to attack. I'm going to have a lot of defense, but of course that doesn't matter as much when he has all that Pierce. So let's see where the Pierce ends up getting him. If he KOs Prime here, the game's pretty much over. I wouldn't even try to play out Flame War with only 3 attack. And you know, my Galaxy Prime is not a Titan Master, so nothing will pop off from him. The game will just be over. But looks like I have 3 6s and a 5, so that's 23. So he actually missed me by 2. So whew for me, like wow, straight up lucky right there. So it just worked out. So now I'm in a position where I'm gonna draw 2 more cards, 1 off the Pocket Processor, 1 for my turn. And the only thing I see right now on the surface is Flame War getting in for Pierce 1, but it's still not a lot, because you know what, Fangry still has a lot of health, and he has that 4 defense, so even Optimus is not one-shotting him right now. So first things first, I'm going to flip Optimus, hit a stable cover. So stable cover is actually potentially going to keep me in the game, because now that'll give me +1 defense, and that'll put me at 4 defense with tough 1. If the Fangry, you know, ends up attacking to Prime again. So that's a really good start for my turn to hit that stable cover off the top of the deck. One of the strongest points of Galaxy Prime, of course, is every once in a while hitting the effect of the, you know, the alt mode effect. So I'm gonna trade. Oh wow, okay, so I did have the energy pack. So I have another energy pack that's gonna put me at 29 health total, and I have 23 damage on me. So I still I have 6 damage in order to be KO'd. So yeah, hitting the effect off Prime, you want to at least hit, especially his attacking effect when you hit, even if it's not energy pack, you want to hit something. So I have another set secret action. If that's in hostilities, I'm in a really, really good position. So there I go with the really, really again. I'm in a really good, solid position. Flame War is going to attack in for 4 Pierce 1, and only do 1 damage to the Fangry. But yeah, so if you don't hit Prime's effect not even once throughout the game, if you don't hard draw your energy packs, you're really actually projected to potentially lose that game. You know, if you don't hit his effect off his alt mode, it's not as big of a deal, but it's always, you know, icing on the cake type thing, and it will help you progress your turn. So if you hit it, you hit it. If you don't, you don't. And that goes for both modes, to be honest. 2 secret action set. 1 card I can think of for Dave to have a decent answer to me right now is definitely Counter Espionage. So Counter Espionage, he knows I have stable cover set. So he could probably just call stable cover, because stable cover I think it might hurt him more, because you know what, I have 6 extra health now, so he might just need to get rid of the stable cover. But if I also have in hostility set, I kind of got him on both sides of the coin in that sense, and both sides of the spectrum rather, and he, you know, would only be able to do 4 Pierce 4 to my Optimus. And even then, I could have Hold the Line. Hold the Line might actually heal me down to 22, and then, you know, his Pierce might not scale up to hit 7 Pierce 7. It's actually, he could probably get up to 7 attack, but his Pierce might not get that high. So he actually does have Counter Espionage. So he's gonna Counter Espionage. I feel like you would just call the one you know, and just hope that the other one's not as good. You can best believe Hidden Fortification is not in my deck after game 2 and 3, so it would not be smart to call that at all. But he's gonna Counter Espionage and call. So I have in hostilities and stable cover set. Okay, so I'm putting another stable cover on the field, so I'm assuming he calls stable cover. So it's actually pretty good for him. As you can see, I have the 3rd energy pack though in my hand though, so that's good for me. So I do have the in hostility, so he's not going to be able to do a whole bunch to my Optimus, and even actually Flame War. So if he attacks down on Flame War to try to get 3 Pierce 3 or 4 Pierce 3 at least, he might not even get that, because he only has bold 1. So out of 3 flips, I'm not gonna say it's not likely. It's just, I feel like it's highly unlikely for him to hit 3 black icons. But then again, he plays a whole bunch, so who knows? So he's in a very tough spot right here. The tables have turned. I actually get to attack down on his character. I get to attack his guys twice. So we'll end up seeing who he decides to attack. Now, definitely understandable for Dave taking his time on this play, because he's in a rough spot. So definitely don't want to jump the gun and just make any, you know, impulsive moves. Oh, he also wants to see my hand again. He wants to remember my hand. So I have Hold the Line. So I did have Hold the Line. Hold the Line, Paralyzer Box, Energy Pack, Reprocess, and Scoundrel's Blaster. So I'm not like a Scoundrel's Blaster in the deck because I noticed, and it's always been like this, but a lot of times you might have a window of time maybe once throughout the game to equip one of your other characters. But when you're playing a big guy deck like Shockwave or Jetfire or whatever, most of the time your big guy is the guy who needs the upgrades first, and you kind of worry about your other characters afterwards. With that being said, I am playing 2 Decepticons, but I think the format's gonna go heavy Decepticons anyway because of cards like Magnetic Dysfunction Ray, and just because like the Grax Head and Horrible and Fangry. We have a lot in Sky Shadow. We have a lot of good Decepticon support. So with that being said, the Scoundrel's Blaster doesn't do a lot except for just give me the +2. And if I'm playing like against another blue Decepticon deck, that Pierce 2 is never gonna happen, obviously because they're not Autobots. So I'm actually thinking about taking out the Scoundrel's Blaster, maybe just siding it if I face another like a heavy or a Autobot deck or whatever, or a deck that has Autobots in it. Not a big fan of Scoundrel's Blaster because, like I said, there's a very small window of time on a specific turn where you can play the Scoundrel's Blaster on one of the other characters. Otherwise, you're really just loading up Prime. So he's going to attack with the Fangry. I'm going to flip the in hostilities. I'm going to have 4 defense on Fangry or 6 defense on Optimus. So Finger's gonna go in here, and it looks like he only hit 2 black icons, and I think, yeah, he went after Flame War. He tried to get her off the board to not let her get that free damage in off the Matrix of Leadership and have just an extra body on board in general. So he actually missed. He hit Peace to Tyranny on that last card with that bold 1. So he missed, missed the Flame War by 1. So I might want to say that's necessarily good for me because I'm in a position where I think Prime needs to do the heavy duty work anyway. This needs to be the turn that I KO the Fangry. I do not need to. I do have Hold the Line, but I really need to try to get this Fangry off of the board this turn because if I can, I probably would win the game. I'm gonna play Reprocess. Gonna heal 2 from the Arm Hovercraft, put me back down to 21. So I have 21 effective health right now. My actual max health printed. So if he had a random disarm, I'd probably just lose. That would be sick if he disarmed me and then attacked the Flame for game. I'm going to flip Prime, and I play Energynax, which is very strong, and this actually should do it. So with the bold 1, I'm trying to hit as many orange icons as I can, or actually just hit a another upgrade in general. There's really nothing to hit though at this turn because I did get rid of the energy pack, or I still do have the energy pack in my hand, but I actually end up hitting pretty well. So I hit Arm Hovercraft, Matrix Leadership, and Belligerence, and what that's actually going to end up doing is something pretty cool here you're about to see in a second. So with the axe and my flips, I actually end up definitely KOing the Vanguard, or not the Vanguard, the Fangry. And what ends up happening here is after the battle, since I flipped an orange and a blue, I can play that Arm Hovercraft and kill that Parsec, which is dope. Boom. Yep. After the battle, Arm Hovercraft. I wasn't even expecting to be able to do that, but, and I mean, let's be real, the game was probably over anyway, but the fact that I did that was pretty cool. So, yeah, I think Dave wasn't sure exactly how it worked, so we kind of replayed it for a second. I think we actually got to a point, where he actually got to a point where he brought out his own Galaxy Prime, the Read Prime, to make sure that's what it says. To be honest with you, I kind of wish that his effect said get the card while you're battling, because like if I hit an Energynax, I can get that axe and have that +3 for the battle. But no, lo and behold, the Prime, he definitely does say after the battle, so it'll equip whatever after the battle in those instances where Parsec, Arm Hovercraft or whatever will kill it, and what other instance, the Bashing Shield with the Ballistic Helmet, and Enforcement Batons with the for the Lionizer. So it's very rare for that to happen, but when it does pop off, it's pretty cool. So that was a crazy set of back and forth games that we definitely had up there. GG's to my homie Dave Burgos. So that's gonna do it for this set, guys. Galaxy ended up prevailing. Now, again, Dave's deck was just his version 1 of the newest version of his 4-wide orange-black Pierce Madness deck. I'm sure with the addition of Fusion Bore and some other cards, having those weapons to potentially threaten me will definitely be very valuable. I don't know how important looking at his deck that Immersion Shadows is at this point, because you always kind of want to be playing a weapon, or I mean, you do have turns where you can't just just play a utility, but your utility slot is really used for a Nitro Booster at this point in time. So if you have Immersion Shadows on Demolisher, you're not going to have the Nitro Booster on them. Well, I take that back. You could, but then you have to just override the Immersion Shadows, and I just don't know how good that is. But I'm sure, like I said, with some more tweaking, he'll get the deck to where he wants it and ready for, maybe a webcam tournament we can get or something coming up here soon, because I know a lot of players that are definitely hungry for some competitive gaming, and you know I definitely am. Always looking forward to that. So hopefully we can get something set up here soon. We do have a Alpha Trion pre-sale tournament coming up very soon with the Vector Sigma guys, so make sure you check out their channel and their Facebook page for the announcements for that as well. And it'll be an in-house tournament featuring 16 of our patrons. They'll be printing out their proxies, and we're going to, of course, include Wave 5 until a Wave 5 type message attack comes out and comes to you to a store near you May 29th. So definitely be looking forward for that, because I'm sure once the set finally comes out and everybody gets their hands on it, we might actually be able to get some type of like webcam game tournament going on, and you know, go from there. So with that, I bid you guys adieu, and you guys know what it is. You guys have a great start to your week. This is your homie S. Dot. You guys have a great day and or great night whenever you're catching this video. You know what it is. It's your homie signing out. Peace.